Welcome everyone to our next Early Years podcast. Today we're going to be discussing leadership in early years and the role of the Early Years SENCo. We're very lucky to have Janet MacGregor, who is the manager at Smithfield House Nursery, and also Shaney Selwyn, who is the SENCo at Smithfield House Nursery. So Janet, over to you. I'm going to ask you the first question. So Janet, what do you think the qualities are that are essential for an effective manager in an early years setting?
I think you've got to be very supportive of your staff. You've got to be a good mentor as well, and lead by example. So you've got to know just as much as what your staff do.
And what role do you think a manager should play in supporting the professional growth of their staff?
I think measuring the staff's knowledge, talking to them through meetings, seeing what they're doing, through even observations for the children, knowing just where they are in their journey of their knowledge in the early years. I think encouraging their professional development, not keeping an eye on, but just monitoring where they are, looking to see whether they need extra training in any areas.
So Shaney, now I'm going to ask you a few questions around your role as a SENCo, which is also a leader in the nursery that you work in. So tell us, what are the main responsibilities of a SENCo?
So my main responsibilities here are to support our families that enter the setting, that come and use our services, to also support the staff as well. But I'd say going into my job role and stuff, my description, I oversee the whole early identification and assessments that are all done here in the nursery. So that's kind of for all the children here, not just the SEND children. So it gives us a really good opportunity to kind of get in there early. From any observations, they all start to tell their stories. So it's a way that we can really focus on if a child needs a little bit more help. I coordinate the staff downstairs on the stuff that they work towards with the children. So the strategies that they will do, kind of the targets that the children need to work on. I work, again, like I said, in partnership with all the parents here, with some outside professionals as well, such as yourselves and the occupational therapists, the speech and language therapists. I will help support the staff to either help find training or to ask for advice if I'm not quite sure. So I may reach out to yourself or Isabel and other people, other professionals. I also oversee and look at the policies. So I will just every now and then go into our SEND policy, our safeguarding policies, and make sure that they're all up to date. And then I will support the children moving on. So we've got a lot of school leavers leaving soon. So I will help the parents and the new schools with that transition. We'll all meet up and discuss the children and where they're at.
So why did you become a SENCo, and what kind of qualifications or training did you pursue?
So I came into early years and I was doing the early years level 3, just kind of the normal kind of child development course. But I do have a child that's SEN, so I've always known it from kind of the parents' side of it. And then there was other staff members doing the SENCo level 3 whilst I was doing my early years level 3. So I was kind of interested, but I was already studying at that point. So it got to 2021 and then it came around again. So I jumped right on it and I fell in love with it. I just completely fell in love just of the impact and the support that I could actually do for these children. So that's the way that I went down it and I love it.
And how do you do it? I mean, what strategies do you use to support children with different types of needs?
So it depending on their needs, every child is different. Every child will need some kind of different strategies and interventions. So we've got a few children with ASD here. So we use a lot of kind of communication interaction strategies to help them. So we'll use lots of kind of visual timetables if needed, object referencing. We will model language, model play. We use lots of Macathon. Every Wednesday, we're actually reposting the City's Macathon Wednesdays for all the staff to try and keep it refreshed. With the cognition and learning, there'll be lots of kind of plan and outcomes and targets in place for these children. So for their learning, there may be kind of little smaller groups, or we do weekly cooking sessions here with our preschoolers. So our children that need that little bit more support, they will have kind of their instructions broken down into smaller tasks. They may then have a one-to-one adult or a one-to-two adult. So we kind of do small group things like that. We follow kind of any strategies that are recommended by other professionals. So if there is kind of yourselves involved or a speech and language, whatever they kind of recommend, we will put them in place. And the same with kind of a physical disability as well. We will source funding if needed. We will work with specialists if needed and try and take on their strategies as well.
Janet, going back to you as the manager of the nursery, how do you promote this wonderful inclusive culture within the setting?
We just make sure that everything that we have is accessible for anybody who walks through our doors, whether that's even a parent with mobility issues who can use a lift, and children with English as an additional language, then the girls will support that. Yeah, all our resources are there and they meet the needs of the children walking through the door. So if there's something that we don't have, we'll always try and source it. We listen to our parents, we know all the different cultures, and we try and celebrate everything that they do as well. So with Maria, with her cooking, she'll bring a lot of different cultures into it. And we've also had parents come in and in particular, one of them is from a Jewish family and there was a celebration. So she actually came in and she did a small cooking thing with the children. So we do include our parents as much as we possibly can. We understand they're busy, but if they've got a spare bit of time, then they're always invited in as well to share their culture with all the other children. We've also got quite a few staff. We've got different cultures in our staff as well. So our staff is really quite diverse. That helps with the parents that come in maybe from that same kind of culture to know that they've got that support, even if it's just speaking their language until the child settles in.
That's great, Janet. And you as a manager, what type of qualities do you think that a manager needs to be able to have a type of setting like the one that you've got?
We've got to be good listeners. You've got to listen to parents, staff, and of course the children. They've got a voice as well. And you've got to be a good support system. Now, this is a support system for the families who access our services, but you've also got to be that support system for your staff. Your staff have got to know that you've got their back. You can have families that walk in or parents that walk in that it can be quite challenging, and the staff need to know that actually you're there to back them up. You know, when they come upstairs, we'll deal with that as long as we know what's happening. As long as they're in the right, we've got that staff member's back, so they know we've got that support there.
And how do you support the professional development of the staff to ensure that they understand?
We know our staff well. We know their weaknesses. We know their strengths. And we'll talk about that. We'll offer training like Shaney with our SENCo. So that's kind of on top of what they already do, as well as doing the essential training that the staff have got to do, like their first aid. We have a whole training suite. And I think there's about 48 courses on it, if not more. And that goes down to even just, working at heights, which is standing on the chair. They shouldn't be doing it, but if they do it, they know how to do it safely. Safeguarding, FGM, prevent, things like that. We've got that whole suite that the girls access. We have that single central record and we can monitor who does what. It'll also throw up when that course needs to be refreshed. So if it's a course that's got to be refreshed in a year's time, it'll remind the members of staff to do it. If it's 3 years' time, it'll remember the staff to do it. The suite we use also has a lot more training coming on. So every time there's a change in legislation or something new arrives, then that suite will bring that in so that the girls can access that. There's always yourselves as well. And City and Hackney do a lot, and the girls can access that. NDNA, we're memberships to NDNA, so the short courses that we do. I mean, there is loads of training that the girls can access that's there for them. So they're encouraged to do and just keep learning more.
It's fantastic. Shaney and Janet, you have given us so much information today about the role of the SENCo and the role of the manager in supporting such an excellent environment. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Remember to look out for the Coaltail Top Tips on social media at Square Mile Families. Thanks for listening, everyone, and see you at the next one. Bye.